Job searching is really starting to take a toll on my mental health. I graduated last May with a master's in entomology focusing on pollinators. Before the pandemic hit, I had applied to several jobs and had interviews for a few. But once the lockdowns started, every place I applied to either had hiring freezes or they ghosted me. Luckily, I managed to get a job through a friend of mine for the summer. I've been applying to nearly everything since July I have seen or been sent, and the amount of rejections is really starting to take a toll on my mental health. I've tailored my resume and cover letter to the job. I practiced interview questions when I realized that I was terrible at interviews, but I still can't get a job. What's worse is now some of the jobs that I would be qualified for due to my research and experience are being offered as internships for current students. I'm getting to the point where I just want to burn my degrees, delete my thesis, and just die. It feels like I wasted 2 years of my life. Layers 2 years. I just want a job in my field. Get in touch with a local beekeeper and volunteer. Keep talking to farmers and people that need your expertise. Cupicus 15 Norzagoya. There are regional beekeeping associations out there, and they were pretty fun to talk with. There used to be occasional meetings and conventions that would pay speakers, and I think they've moved only now. Members range from casual homesteaders to college professors, and they all love hearing about bee anatomy and behavior. So it might be worth reaching out to them and making connections. To herd gardening groups do some pretty neat things as well. 13. MacLeod share report save continue this thread. That's pretty tough. Do you plan to apply for another job that's not related to the degree? It may make your resume stand out more. I don't think it'll make my resume stand out in the way I need it to. A lot of the jobs for pollinator-related entomology are related to the academic field, and it is not going to make me look good if I have a job that is unrelated to entomology, and I will have to explain why I have that job on my resume when I have a master's in entomology. Though I have been applying to some botany-related jobs because my undergraduate research and courses were heavily botany-focused. Other than that, I have been applying to retail jobs to no avail because I'm running out of money and have been relying on my parents' help. Mordomius 15 hours ago. That sounds ridiculous. Not you, just the general premise. The point of a degree is that you want a job in that field. Why would another job, completely unrelated, make it stand out more? Makes no sense. 44. Reply share report save continue this thread. Job hunting is not like taking exams and doing well academically. Not every job you go out for is going to be a fair fight. If you are completely unemployed at present, can you try also applying to some part-time stuff to try and take the pressure of yourself while you look? What type of job does someone with a degree in entomology with a focus in pollinators do? It is usually jobs like scientists, research technicians, research entomologists, land managers, ecologists, and collection curators. There are jobs for research technicians doing field surveys and lab work at state parks and preserves. There are zoos and butterfly houses that have entomologists to take care of the invertebrates. Some zoos have rare insect breeding programs. The USDA has several labs looking into native pollinators and honeybees in agricultural systems. So there are quite a few jobs. There are some organizations like the Xerces Society and Nature Conservancy that need land managers and ecologists. Places like the Field Museum need people to help with their collections. Take a job in an unrelated field and continue to apply to your preferred field. When the economy starts to open up again and your preferred field starts hiring, you can leverage the skills that your current job has given you in your application. I'm sorry it is taking a toll on your mental health, but other than giving up and accepting perpetual unemployment, this is the only option. When you are going through hell, keep going. That's true, just apply a job in a non-related field. A lot of people are laid off in different industries. Even retail field is hard to get in as well. Once COVID-19 is gone, things will gradually return to normal. In the meanwhile, we just need to take what's available at the moment. I read somewhere where a pilot need to work as an Amazon delivery and a construction worker as well because the number of pilots needed nowadays are less. It is the sign of times for a while. I know someone who also got her master's in entomology while she worked in marketing. Sadly, she had to stay in marketing, which she doesn't like. I've been where you are, but due to my own stupidity, I've resigned from jobs due to workplace toxicity and former managers and coworkers picking on me. I stopped looking when COVID hit because I got tired of the entire process. What I'm doing is trying to get certified in a different field altogether. I'll have to start at the very bottom, and I don't care. I was tired of getting only shitty jobs. Job hunting is designed to break you. Don't let it. Maybe the jobs in your field aren't in your area. Have you thought about moving elsewhere? It doesn't hurt to expand your search area if you can afford to move. Keep up the good fight. I know very well that it is hard, but you keep moving forward. Everyone agrees that job hunting stinks. Perseverance pays off. Thanks. I have been applying to jobs all around the US, and before COVID, I had applied to several jobs outside the US. I don't really have a problem moving, but I'm beginning to wonder if I should address that in my cover letter. Man, I felt exactly the same a week ago. It is pretty crushing. I guess you just gotta think that you have your whole life to get into your chosen field, and you're only gonna get more knowledgeable with time. I like to think of older people I know and how their first jobs were a far cry from where they are now. If getting a bullshit job with minimum wage is what it takes to get some money coming in, then that's what you need to apply yourself for. Then at least it could help you get your head straight. Super random, but as an entomologist, have you ever thought about getting into the bug trade? Like breeding mantises or tarantulas or beetles or whatever and selling them. Seems to be a decent source of income. Plus, you'll utilize your knowledge. Tarantulas, though, are generally not going to net money until a few years later, though, as they grow slow. I've been in the same situation for the past few months. I literally had to change careers from fashion design to veterinary nursing because there is hardly any scope for that line of work here in Sydney. Better luck in Melbourne. But I'm actually failing to find a job in retail or customer service as well. I've literally been working out and getting healthy in the meantime. Have you possibly considered networking? Like try finding people on LinkedIn and just start to talk to people from companies you want to work for and getting tips and advice. For several day 22 hours ago, haven't really, but that sounds like a good idea. You got this? I know the job market for ecologist isn't so hot right now, but reading this post really made me miss doing field work. Try to get into a garden store, including garden section of Lowe's, Home Depot and Country Max. They will start gearing up for spring hiring soon. Be willing to sling mulch bags if you have to. Your knowledge will get you noticed and into a customer-facing role where your education will help people solve problems. Highly relevant role where you can make money until the job market opens again. Make sure customers that you bond with know about your permanent job goals. I keep that in mind. My temp job this summer had me hauling mulch bags and sliding down hills to plant flowers and shrubs for shoreline restoration in some very extreme gardening situations. Also graduated in May with my bachelor's degree. After searching for a job from then until now, I was only able to get a couple of interviews and then ghosted on every single one. I was getting so depressed that I just recently decided to bite the bullet and just go back to a minimum wage job. I was never able to get any unemployment, and just having no money and feeling worthless was eating me up inside. I just started last week, and I am really hoping Biden does something about student loans, because there is no way that I am going to be able to pay them back since I can't seem to land a job in my chosen career field. I feel the same way. I recently graduated at the start of summer 2020 with my bachelor's degree in my early 30s. I had been in a dead-end, low-level, minimum wage industrial job since I was 18, and finally decided I wanted to turn my life around at the age of 29 3 years ago in 2017, and decided to follow my dreams and get a degree, with the hope of improving my prospects, landing a half-decent career that would provide me with more fulfillment and meaning in life. Minimum days. Well, 3 years later, I've graduated as the COVID-19 crisis kicks off and I cannot find a university graduated degree level job. I've applied for many even outside the field of my degree, which is journalism. I have gone for advertising, marketing, sales, recruitment, business development, all at the entry level. and I've got nowhere. I do wonder now if I wasted 3 years of my life at university and wonder if I was deluded in thinking I could better myself. Perhaps I'm destined to always be a low-level manual worker on rubbish. Pay no disrespect to anyone who does that kind of work. I salute you all. Sorry to make my reply all about me. I guess I'm just trying to convey that you are not alone, and I totally share your concerns and worries about having a bleak future ahead of you in terms of employment prospects and feeling your higher education has been for absolutely nothing. Correct me if this is a wrong assumption, but it sounds like there are two problems here. Firstly, because you're unemployed, you feel less secure generally, and rejection is harder to take because you don't feel valued as a worker. Secondly, you're putting a lot of effort into your applications, which is not paying off, and you're experiencing application fatigue and burnout. For the first issue, you may be better throwing a generic out there to get an unrelated job. Even if it isn't your desired career path, having some sort of job gives some income and makes you feel more useful. You can afford to be more choosy and take rejection less personally if you're a decent employee, even if it is not related to what you want right now. The second issue can be resolved by doing something that sounds counterproductive. Put less effort into your applications. A lot of rejections can be okay if you have a well-whatever approach to them, but when you constantly tailor everything, study job descriptions intensely, then get a no, it can knock the stuffing out of you. A lot of job adverts are also closed shops where they have to advertise by law, but in fact already know who they want internally for a role, so it can feel like a hopeless waste of time. If you make less effort at the start of applying, then you can save your energy for when a company gives you an interested reply. Short answer: have a generic key for applications in your preferred field. Also have a different dumbed-down generic key for applying to get a general run-of-the-mill job in anything. More detailed explanation: you don't have to lie on the dumbed-down key, but omit stuff that makes you seem overqualified if it doesn't leave you with large gaps. So your studies may go on there, but leave out extra stuff you were proud of, side qualifications. If you want to chance a white lie, you could put that you studied but failed. Companies lie in interviews all the time about their culture and benefits, so it is up to you if you want to be economic with the truth or not. But have those two generic curves to allow you to recover from burnout and get peace of mind. Final thought: in the current climate, people are going to have long unemployment gaps or long periods where they had a job but not in a career direction they want to follow. This will have to mean more understanding from recruiters and companies about filtering candidates. I know that sounds optimistic, but with so many more people losing jobs or, as in your case, not being presented with opportunities that would normally be there, industry can only recover by less filtering and more understanding. Not sure if this advice will help you, but I had the same experience last year and this helped. Hope you re-oak. This is really good advice from both the employment perspective and the mental health perspective. Oh, wow. Hey, I too have a master's in pollination ecology. I too have a VO in pollination ecology. I'm sitting nearly 5 years post-graduation now without a job in the field. I have pretty much given up, got my teaching license, and now I'm looking for a job at a high school. Pokemon Animar 16 hours ago. It sounds like you would make a great science teacher. I know when my teachers were passionate about the subjects they were teaching, it made me want to actually study and learn the materials so I could be more like them. Good luck on your job search. We need more educated teachers in the field to hopefully change course on the lack of educated people. America is producing 5. Reply, share, report, save, continue this thread. I spent 6 years in college and came out with a PhD in animal behavior and welfare. Unfortunately, it has been so hard trying to get a job in the field. I applied for a dog trainer job, but the day of the interview was the day we went into Tier 4 lockdown, so the interview was canceled last minute. So, at the moment I'm in an unrelated job with good money, so I can have some breathing room to look and apply for a job I really want. Sometimes it is the only way. Yes, it sucks to be in a job you don't want when you spent so long at uni, but at least it means you have an income while you keep one eye out for a job in the field. I think you should do the same. Get a job somewhere else. Earn money. Have savings and keep looking for something you really want. Then all you will have to do is hand in your notice and go from one job to another. A lot better than waiting around unemployed for a job you really want. Especially in the current climate, it is not a good idea to be picky about employment. Like I said, I know it sucks so much. I was in a very bad place thinking how I wasted 6 years of my life, and my mental health was at an all-time low. But since finding another job and telling myself I don't need to be restricted by my degree, I feel a little better. Who knows what the future will bring? Right now, I'm just happy I have any job and can afford rent. You could try to apply to environmental engineering companies as a field scientist. The work isn't glamorous, but the pay is decent and you will get experience testing soils. I had worked as a field technician, and one of the projects was to check for the possibility of a special salamander for a research project for the county. It might not be exactly what you want, but it will provide pay and experience in the meantime.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.